Ladies and gentlemen, you already know from coast to coast, it originated in the West, but now we're spreading all over the West Coast Popcast live on YouTube. I'm your host for this week, the Flop Daddy, the man who put Baldur's Gate 3 on the map, Eric, joined, of course, by Naki, the final boss, the guy who for 2 years in a row has been repping the runner-up. He's got good taste, but he's not. He's not the Flop Daddy of video games. Knock, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. And literally, as I hit the button to go live, I got the notification that my laptop's about to die, and I'm in trouble right now. So hold on, I'm looking for the charger, but your boys are here. We're back.
We're back. Zach will be joining us shortly. We already got Mr. All Power in the chat. Mr. All Power, it is great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be talking about Mariah May a little bit, but we've got a great show for you. As you can see on the slides, we got some R-Truth talk. We got some Tony Khan talk. We got some Katt Williams talk because he's been talking his talk and everybody's listening to him talk. Knock, you're going to have to fill me in on a lot of it, but when we get to it, I believe in the gist of it. He's calling out comedians. He's saying they're stealing from him.
It's a lot, and it's kind of pretty much the way he talks. Like he's an hilarious dude. He's naturally a hilarious dude, and he's calling out a lot of guys, for being for stealing, doing like dirty stuff behind the scenes, and like Steve Harvey. And there was a side by side of like Steve Harvey stealing someone's show, Cedric the Entertainer stealing people's jokes, and he called Kevin Hart a plant. I like Kevin Hart, so that was a little hard to hear. But the other guys, I never really thought they were that funny, so it's kind of believable to me. And then there's the facts to back it up. And then none of them have come out. All of them come out to slander him and diss him, but no one's called him a liar yet.
Do you want to? Are we waiting for Zach for this segment, or do you want to jump straight?
Yeah,
into
Zach's definitely want to get. We could brief touches. Everyone in the chat, let us know if you guys seen the interview. It said like 41 million on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, which is killing it. But Zach is the fellow comedian of the West Coast Popcast. So I'd love to hear his perspective on that when what goes into writing jokes. It was some serious stuff, man. It's hilarious. He was dropping gems. So I think that's why it's blowing up right now.
Yeah. I mean, like we'll save it for when Zach gets here, but I will say, I remember this story Chappelle tells in one of his Netflix specials, or maybe it was an interview. I can't remember, but it talks about how him coming up, he had a joke and a comedian was like, oh, let me borrow that joke. Never says the name of the comedian, but comedian does it, and Chappelle's like, hey man, you're using it all the time, like that's one of my only good jokes right now, I need it back. Comedian tries to buy it for $50, and Chappelle's like, no. Comedian says, well, I could just fucking take it. So that just goes to show, in the world of comedians, jokes are being taken. Like we hear about a lot.
And then he was talking about like pretty much like that whole group, because I don't know if you've ever seen the Kings of Comedy. It was Steve Harvey, Bernie Mac, Cedric, and DL Hughley. They all kind of like tried to hold Bernie Mac back. It was supposed to be Steve Harvey's like his show, and he had these other people with him. Those are the opening acts. They were so much better than him. He got jealous. Bernie Mac went for a movie, and I guess he tried to like even take a pay cut to get the role from Bernie. Like there was a lot of like shady stuff he was talking about, and then a lot of Hollywood stuff he was talking about as well. He was trying to expose everything. That's like the big spur of everything.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna touch on this topic more when Zach gets in.
Yeah.
Right now, Doc, we're gonna talk about one of probably our favorite stream of the year. I don't think anything else tops it. Not even Mania if we do a stream.
It's hard, man. It's hard to top something where we have so much community engagement from all you great people. So I think you guys would know what he's talking about. It's coming back this year.
You already know it's Royal Rumble itself. I'm in a weird position with my computer, so I can't see the slides. So if we have a slide for Royal Rumble, you can put it on.
I got you, man. Your boy is on it. The Oracle, if you will.
This year, Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we're talking about the Royal Rumble. Don't have a slide, but Zach will be here soon. Eric will talk about the Royal Rumble. That's why we got the audio for you guys.
That's fair. Also, I'm happy to say this is hopefully be the last week I do not have the webcam on. Next week, hopefully I'll be back in all my flopness. But Royal Rumble, I've announced that we are doing a Royal Rumble drinking game, and I have the rules set up. I will hopefully have a slide ready. I will definitely have a slide ready when the Royal Rumble happens, so we remember. But if you don't drink, that's fine. Grab some orange juice, grab some cranberry juice, grab some water. It's all about staying wet when you're with the Flop Daddy. But you're going to take a sip every time commentary says the road to WrestleMania. every time a big wrestler is ganged up on for elimination, and whenever your number enters the Rumble. Now, if you're confused, you're like, what's my number? The way we did it last year was Knock, Zach, and I, we drew numbers, and you got to pick whose team you were on. Obviously, if you were smart, you joined the Just Us League.
No, you joined your boy, the Poppers, with Knock. We were the Brotherhood, but we got disbanded. A long story. You got to see the film. You got to see the.
Yeah, gotta go back.
Yeah.
If you just joined the West Coast Popcast, I'm jealous of you. You get to go back and watch all this for the first time. That's lucky.
Yes, man. See us grow from the pandemic days till now. You could see how Eric's Justice League started. Get in the know with that. You can see the Poppers, Zach's Rampagers. It's been a lot of good streams we've had on here, man, with a lot of good interactions.
It's been some goodness. Next up, we take a drink every time an NXT superstar or legend enters the Rumble. Someone is eliminated under 10 seconds. Someone is eliminated by an ally or partner. And someone performs a Kofi Kingston saved from elimination spot. Which I'm guessing it's going to be Casey Catanzaro again this year.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Because, I mean, Kofi's talked about how he's kind of running out of ideas for it. And he's like, he's almost done with it.
I think Casey still has a lot of good stuff. I mean, she's a gymnast, American Ninja Warrior. So it'd be cool to see her take that mantle for the women. Any guesses for who could do it for the men, though?
That's a great question. Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley. I could see him if he's in the Rumble. I could see that for sure. Yeah, it's really. I mean, I think Ricochet, but I don't think he really does too much stuff like that.
Yeah, I could see them asking him.
Yeah.
I see a Ricochet or Wesley, which is weird because right now there's really no like. Besides Ricochet, there's no like real high flyer that they like. When Neville was on TV, they promoted him as the high flyer.
Yeah,
but they're not really doing that with Ricochet right now.
I'm trying to think because we have like some luchadors on but they're not like, you're not getting that like Neville treatment like freaking the bad Gravity forgot.
Exactly, and even when Ricochet was getting that, they just recycled everything from Neville, which was kind of lazy. But
shout out Nubico in the chat. What's up, bro?
What's up, Noob? What's up, Philly Sixer Eagles? How you doing, man? Lastly, go ahead. You talk.
I was gonna make a comment on our boy Philly Sixer Eagles. I mean, your Sixers are looking good, but I don't know if these Eagles, man, they down bad. How you hold it up?
Hey, man, we're with you in spirit.
Man, they cost me some money. Actually, they better get it together.
You see, what's his name? Jason Kelsey is talking about this might be his last season.
Yeah, he's been saying that for the last 3 seasons, so we'll see. I think he's been holding out hope they'll get to the dance one more time because they've been looking promising. But if they get knocked out first round, I think he's gone for sure.
Which is a shame. I want him to get a ring. I'm not that I hate the Eagles, but I want him to get something.
I think he has one. I think he's looking for that second one to tie Travis, his brother.
Oh, never mind then.
He has one. He got it with Nick Foles when they beat was it Brady? Yeah, they beat Brady.
Oh, all right, then he's fine. He beat Brady, and yeah, that's cool. He's guys happy, and he's rich. Never mind. I don't care about him no more.
Yeah. Oh man.
Last category. You're gonna finish your whole drink for a surprise debut / return. Someone is attacked during their entrance. Someone other than CM Punk wins the Men's Royal Rumble, and someone eliminates themselves. Oh, and 2 Rumble winners / the Rumble is restarted, just like when Cena and Batista had their botch.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I was kind of thinking we might get like something similar to that with CM Punk and Cody. I think it's guaranteed. It's Punk, Cody in the last 3. I don't know who that third person is yet. And I also think
I would say Gunther.
Gunther, I could see that too. Him being for the second year in a row with the IC belt.
Yeah.
My pick is CM Punk. CM Punk's winning 100%.
Oh yeah, he's winning. This is just like last year. The question was who's going to draw Cody. This year, it's who gets Punk. It's him.
Yeah.
He hasn't won it before, right? He didn't win it before.
Cody?
No, Punk.
No, Punk's never won. That's his big story. That's when, like, so on Raw, Drew McIntyre kind of little brothered him. Said, you've been gone for 9 years. We're gonna get into that promo too when Zach gets here. You've been gone for nine years. I'm the big guy around here now. I've won the Royal Rumble and I've made events at WrestleMania. 2 things you have not done. So that's kind of CM Punk, at his story.
Uh, yeah, I really hope whoever wins next year is unpredictable. I know that like this year and last year, the winners make sense. I don't like CM Punk, but the winners make sense.
Yeah.
Next
Hold
year,
on, you
let's go
didn't like
Outgate.
Cody getting the W last year?
I don't know. I loved it. I just don't love that it was predictable.
Okay, fair enough.
Because like the best rumbles are the ones where you have no idea who's
It
gonna
is.
win.
It is. I think the last one for me might have been Shinsuke, where I was like, I was shocked he won because I just not that he didn't deserve it. I just couldn't believe they let him win because they kind of hold him back.
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I think whenever I think of like the best Royal Rumble, like you don't know who's gonna win, it's the year Shawn Michaels retires. Because so many people went into that Royal Rumble with like stories of like we need this win. Like
Yeah.
anybody could have gotten it.
I think I know what you're talking about. And then for this year, I think the women's Royal Rumble, that's the one where it's unpredictable for me. Personally, I would love to see Bayley cash in, get that victory. I just don't know if she'll get it. I think Bianca might become a 2-time Royal Rumble winner too.
I think so because they had to change plans since Charlotte's out.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for. My only problem is first of all, I think Bianca, if it were up to me, Bianca would be undefeated every night, give her all the title belts, everything. But
she's a Hall of Famer.
My worry is that if she's a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, do you think that she gets like no one's ever gonna get that Roman Reigns treatment where it's like, yo, you're pushing them too hard. But do you think it's a little too much?
I don't, because she deserves everything at this moment. I don't think there's anyone like on that level, like athletically right now. Her character's on point. She's just like she's the it person right now. So I think let her run with it. Let her have that John Cena-esque run where she's super woman.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need a female John Cena. I'm down with it.
I know Zach won't agree with that, but it is what it is, man. Cena was the guy he carried the weight for a long time there.
Oh man. Let's set this chat real quick. Phantom X, AEW Homecoming is on. Who do you guys pick to debut? Knock, you called it last week, so you get the chance to go for the twofer. Who's debuting tonight?
I think it's not Mercedes. If anyone's looking for that, I don't know if we get a debut. I think it's just going to be homegrown talent. Maybe we'll get a return. I have more money on a return than a debut. I think whenever Mercedes does come, if people are looking for that, that'll be when they'll announce that. They'll kind of tease it more how they did CM Punk.
It's funny because last week you were on Mercedes train. I wasn't, but I think because you were right by last week, now I'm on board. I could see it happening.
Wow.
I can absolutely see it happening. Especially, I feel like it's gonna be a surprise because I think was Punk the only one that he teased? I feel like everybody else was a surprise.
Punk was a tease. Yeah. Everyone was a surprise, but I think they were getting like this could all be rumors, but I think they were getting a little flack from the network for having it as a tease because they wanted that ratings boost. They wanted to like be announced ahead of time so you get that boost.
Right.
I think Mercedes gets announced ahead of time. Just recently Fightful saying it's 95% chance she debuts. It's like we're watching the weather or something. She debuts like within the next week or so. They don't know what date, but they're saying it's coming.
Right. Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be my stance on this. Tony Khan has Deonna Purrazzo. We assume he's getting Mercedes. He's got Saraya. He's got Britt Baker. He has a very strong women's division. If it doesn't work with Mercedes, and I'm giving him 3 months, I will watch it for 3 months, no complainings, no jokes. If he doesn't get it right by then, he doesn't know how to book women, and he doesn't care to learn.
I get that narrative, man. Trust me, I do. But I've been seeing the improvements. I've been seeing a lot more women featured on the show, whether it's not one match. I've been seeing the women's match come on earlier. I've been seeing them get a lot more opportunities. I think Rampage had 2 women's matches. There's more storylines involving more of the women. So I think we're on the right track.
Okay. How long is I'm not saying this to disprove a point. How long has AEW been on the air for?
This is their 5th year being a company. So I guess we're going into year 4 because they didn't start till the end of the year 2019. Was it 2019 they started?
I believe so, yeah.
Damn, so that
Okay.
means they went into the pandemic like before their first year.
Then I will give them. If you say it's improving, then fine. It takes time to improve on something, and at least they are improving on that because their tag division is going down, so something should be going up.
And here's the thing too, man. I know they get a lot of slack, and I'm not going to try to give them too much credit, but I mean, at least they didn't start in the in the mud, literally with the women's division. At least they had something going.
That's fair. But also I feel like there's a certain level they should have started with. Like they already saw that there's a market for women's wrestling, and
That's
they
the thing,
didn't
though. They
capitalize.
started hot. I mean, you remember we were at the first Double or Nothing. They started hot with the women's division. They had all the Joshi wrestlers in there. The crowd was loving them, and then
But
they kind of carried it into Dynamite for a little bit. Like there was some good stuff going on there, and then like they kind of forgot.
so I might be remembering it wrong because looking at the time, I agree. Like I just the whole like majesty of like AEW existing had a lot of blinders for me for that first year. But I'm pretty sure that first pay-per-view, the women's match was a multi-women's match.
It was, but there was a few women's matches on there, if I remember correctly. There was like maybe 2, maybe 3.
I hope. I also love the idea that 2 women's matches is the normal amount.
I mean, for like
We,
I'm saying like they started on a better, and then
yeah.
like I think what burned TK early on was he was giving some opportunities, but the just no one really had that experience yet to be on TV. So there was a lot of mess ups early on, if I'm being honest. So there's a lot of like things that kind of messed up a little bit. So I think like Britt Baker didn't get hot until like she turned heel.
Oh
That was
yeah.
like when she really got into her bag.
Yeah, she was still great. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm willing to give him a shot. If you say that there's improvement, then I'm willing
Yeah.
to give him a shot.
Real quick, Curvin Abreu, what's up, bro? I remember 2 years ago, AEW Rampage, Britt Baker, Ruby So cut a fire promo. That promo was amazing, and Britt actually lost that one because if you remember, Ruby had that killer, killer joke at the end about her, begging somebody in the back, and that kind of shut her the whole down with the whole fan reaction and everything. I think it was Ruby Soho's birthday yesterday too, as well. Shout out to. Do we have a Heat fan in here?
You damn skipping
We
we
have a
do.
fellow Heat fan in here.
What's up, Curvin? You gotta love it. You gotta stay hot and wet.
Man. Real quick side. Quick side note. Did you see? They just extended Eric Spoelstra's contract. They gave him a nice like $100 million contract to extend him, but they waited like a day or two. No lie, a day after his divorce finalized to give him the contract extension.
Hey, all right, Heat. I see you.
They really, keeping an eye out for the boy.
You gotta love that Heat culture. They watch out for the boys.
Crazy. Oh man.
I saw LeBron James say something nice to him about the contract expansion.
That's his coach, bro. They love him.
The guy started from the bottom too, like a video editor or something.
He did. Video editor all the way to the top.
Oh man. Still some chats we got to hit up. Preston just won the opening match for his team. Preston, not negative. Who's Preston again?
Preston. He was number 10 in the Dark Order. He was Brody Lee's like right hand, and then he's with Roosh now.
That's right. I don't say -10. Like I knew there was something with the Dark Order.
-1. That's his boy.
That's right. John Cooper Bison. You'll get that title shot one day. I actually was thinking about doing my GM stream this week, so we'll see.
Nice.
Mr. All Power, Anak, I know you like him. The Gun Club is so good, but I don't want to see Bullet Club Gold together with the Acclaimed.
It's just got to make sense. Right now, it doesn't really make too much sense, but it's just throwing a whole bunch of people together. But it's got to make sense because you got some story there. Gun Club and Acclaimed going after each other. They kind of taken the Gun Club's father. So you got some stuff there. I will put out real quick. Anyone watching AEW, I have it on just now as well. They did a completely different stage for Daly's Place. So like the entire background is the screen, kind of where like they had it in that little corner a little bit. It's the entire back now, so it's kind of cool.
I don't know if you heard it during the Hangman and Claudio match they gassed it Taz a little bit because Taz was like, I don't remember the stage looking like this. And they're like, it's always been like this. And Taz's like, oh, I've been here enough times. How do I forget?
We're gonna be talking about Taz as well very soon, because he had some comments to defend his son and TK yesterday when the whole Twitter explosion was going on.
Oh yeah,
Curvin Abreu says, "Damn, Jimmy Butler's still on injury." Yeah, he is, but I think y'all be right, man. He wants to hang more banners. You know, you guys, no matter how many injuries you have, somehow, some way, you make it to the conference finals.
hey, the Miami Heat are a real life anime. These boys scrap, they fight, they show their ninja way, and they make it to the end. It's okay. You don't always see the protagonist win in anime, but you just know eventually he's gonna get that happy ending. I saw something about Bianca and Montez. Are we gonna watch Bianca and Montez reality show? That's a question I'm gonna ask Zach because I don't watch reality shows, and I don't want reality show to ruin any perception I have of Bianca and Montez.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's gonna. I think it'll be even better, man. I think it'll be. I'll admit this, man. I liked Total Divas when it came out. I did. I didn't like it when it first came out, but it grew on me, and I think it worked to get new eyes on the product to get people a bigger role. Bianca's already at the superstar level. Give her a show. I think it'll just rise both tides, her and Montez.
Oh, I also I love Total Divas when it came out. That was the reason. Total Divas is the main reason I thought Jimmy was a talented one because I was like, oh, this guy's entertaining on here.
He was known as like the top, like the better twin for a while. So people thought, and then Jay just reminded everybody he's a professional as well. He's one of the top guys.
Yeah. And Miro was looking. I mean, there was a point where I just watched the show for Rusev.
Yeah.
So it can do its job. It's just I also think that it's not even them I'm worried about. It's just reality TV itself, like the writing and producing. That's all the stuff that I'm gonna find annoying. But people will like. You're right. The mainstream people will like it. Oh, Mr. All Power says Hangman's on the screen. I gotta check this out.
The Hangman. As someone who has paid attention to who Eric loves, Hangman or Cody, who you picking?
That's a tough. Thankfully, Cody left, so I never have to worry about this happening. But I need to see the Hangman finish his story. I need to see him get the AEW championship again and do it right this time. I had so much faith in that championship reign, but the chase was beautiful. The chase was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. That was one of the best stories they told. I mean, you have the whole storyline with the tag team titles they won with him and Kenny against the Bucks. It was just a very good story. Not against the Bucks, against SCU, defending against the Bucks.
Yeah. Yeah, SCU is still my biggest disappointment in AEW. I was really looking forward to seeing the three of them.
Yeah, I thought they had more gas in the tank as a group because, I mean, they were hot on the indies. And then when they came in, I thought they would have had a little more legs, a little more run room. But I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, man. We are pretty much caught up with the chats. We do have a chat about TK's outbursts, but are we waiting for Zach?
That one. We're getting Zach in here soon. We can talk about the week in wrestling real quick. Let us, you guys know in the chat, what was your favorite thing that happened this week? I have another announcement next week. We'll be bringing back the Pop 5, West Coast Pop 5, where we'll have the best storyline, best wrestling character, or best pop culture thing that happened that week. So keep an eye out for that and keep voting. We'll have the polls going out every week. There's 2 more polls. I'm going to wait for Zach to get in to touch on. But this past week in wrestling, they might have to rename the North American Championship, Eric. This was for us. This was for us. The brother championship. Oba Femi getting the W over Dragon Lee, cashing in his NXT breakout contract to win the North American Championship. Nice win. This dude's a beast. He's the first NIL signee to win a championship WWE. He's also, I think, the youngest NXT North American champion at 22.
Okay. It's crazy that we're at a point where being 22 is no longer like that's the average age for champions nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you look at Julia Hart with Femi. I think Cora Jade, did she win? Roxanne was a young champion.
I think she was like 18.
Yeah, Roxanne was like 18, 19 when she was the ROH champion, and she won NXT for a little bit. So, yeah, he's got a point there.
this does. So I think I said we take a. Would you count Dragon Lee in the Royal Rumble being a debut, or because he's not going to be an NXT superstar? I feel like this is his call up. He's done now.
So he's already been on the main roster. I think they gave him the belt, or because I think he won the belt and then lost it. They got him the belt back one last time because who got hurt? Oh, Wesley, was it him? Yeah, Wesley got hurt. He's supposed to take the belt off of Dominic, but they had to rewrite it. So I think they were kind of like in limbo for a bit here with the storytelling there, which I will say, Shawn Michaels has been killing it as a booker. NXT has been like the most enjoyable it has been in years. It's really, really well done right now, man.
I've been hearing some good things about it, and he has been doing a great job because William Regal isn't going to be the NXT guy. Like they're not going to give him that job back. They said that they like Shawn as he is. But it said that Regal should make a TV appearance soon. Don't know what role he'll be, but we'll see.
Yeah. Because like I think when he left AEW, he had to sign that contract where he can't be on WTV for at least a year, I believe. Something around that range.
So is it only WWE TV or is it all wrestling TV? Because
I believe it's WWE because I think they let him out of his contract early because he wanted to be with his son. So like they were like, all right, we'll let this happen. You know, we understand where you want to be, but we don't want you to be on the TV helping them out, whatever.
I kind of feel I'm a little disappointed in that. I'd hope AEW be better than that, but okay.
I don't hate it, bro. You signed a contract,
but I mean, a whole year. Like at least WWE is 3 months, and even then, I don't even like that because they're independent contractors.
I mean, he still got to work for them, man. I mean, what was he really going to be doing on screen anyway besides saying War Games?
Exactly that. Nothing against Adam Pearce for saying it, but it's just a pale imitation. You can duplicate, but you can't emulate.
This is craziness. What else happened here? Let us know too if you guys are watching Dynamite, keeping up. We're watching it live as well. If you are seeing the new stage, seeing all the notes happening, I see Mr. All Powers liking it a lot right now.
Well, Deanna's on. Oh no, this is a recap of last week. Never mind.
Yeah. So also at NXT last night, Cora Jade beat Gigi Dolan. She's on fire right now. She's ditched the skater gimmick for a little bit. Her aura is on point. Her character work is there. The crowd is loving it. I think her getting her another NXT Women's Championship run is very imminent.
Yeah, that'd be good for her. That'd be nice. I'd keep up with it.
The only thing that's been disappointing with Gigi Dolan is like, you give her and JC Jane that huge like Shawn Michaels spot breaking up with Jannetty, and I feel like that cooled off way too quick. And I know they kind of shotgunned that since they fired Mandy, and I don't know there'd been more story, more development if they didn't do that. But that's really a shame, and I think it really hurt that storyline.
Yeah, I wasn't. I mean, not that I was watching religiously at the time, but I wasn't a huge fan of them doing that spot. So I don't know. I was fine with them dropping it, but yeah, they could have done some more with them. But also there was talk that they might be interested in bringing Mandy Rose back. I guess they're like,
I can see it. Big time Mandy's making a lot of money, so they're got to really cough up some bread, back up the truck.
They really are. They absolutely are. But also, she's not going to stop doing what she's doing. So
that's the thing too. They have to compromise on that. Which right. I'm shocked. A company that promoted Playboy so much is taking such a stance right now with that.
For real, they were just throwing girls to Playboy.
Also in this recap, that was NXT, we had the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre promo showdown, if you will, where, hey man, I think CM Punk getting beat up in the ring on the promo on the mic because Drew little brother this guy. He said, I'm the big guy around town here. I'm the one who won the Rumble, went on the main event, WrestleMania, win. He beat Brock. All things CM Punk couldn't do. He pretty much sat him down and let him know it's a new day over here. He also said, maybe I should leave WWE for a little bit, go away for 9 years. Maybe then I'll get the respect I deserve.
I mean, apparently that's how it works.
Yeah.
I love this promo on paper, but what has McIntyre done for me lately?
his tweener gimmick, they've kind of in between heel and face he's been doing, it's been working. I think I'd put the world title on him, at some point in 2024. It's been working. He hasn't won. They've been giving him some opportunities where he's he's losing every big opportunity. So it's kind of sucks he didn't be able to get back to that world championship level. But he's doing the work.
He is great. I just need it's not even his fault that I don't want him to be world champion. It's like everything he does is great. It's just the booking that he had when him and Randy Orton's championship booking was stupid. And then there was that point where he would wrestle the same matches every week that I just got tired of seeing him and Seth Rollins. So he's great. I wish him the best, but WWE has kind of burned out my Drew McIntyre part of my brain with their booking.
Do you know where Drew was at his best?
ROH.
When Drew was Drew Galloway on TNA Impact Wrestling. If you guys are in the chat, man, and you enjoy TNA Impact Wrestling, please let Eric know how great that show is and how much he's missing out. This man refuses to watch one of the most influential promotions of all time, and it pains me. It pains me.
Knock, I know you watch Boondocks, so I hope you understand this reference. But why you gotta go ahead and bring up all that nastiness? We just two grown men having a conversation for 31 minutes. But
you gotta go ahead and quote Uncle Ruckus on here.
But you know what? That's fine because Knock is bringing in something bitter. But we got something.
He jumped the gun there. Let's hit up the chats real quick. There's a lot of people. Where do we leave off here, man?
Where were we? Guess who's all elite in AEW this time? I don't want to say it because I'm afraid I'm going to mispronounce it.
I got you. That is the Queen Aminata. So the rumor is she is signed to AEW. She's great. I love her look, her presentation. She's been killed on the indies, came back from, I think it was a knee injury. That's why she's been off screen. I think AEW signed her before the injury. She just came back, started working more. She just had a return match against Sky Blue, had another match against the debuting Mariah May. So she's really good. She has good size too. She's pretty tall. I think she's a good signing to really be a homegrown talent to grow and develop in AEW. What was the other thing I was going to say? But yeah, it hasn't been confirmed yet that she was signed.
I think she is. Also, it makes me sad to acknowledge this, but last week you said that she might be the only African. She said that she is.
Yeah.
I could not find any proof to point otherwise, which is sad. Unless there are African promotions that I've just never heard of. But yeah, I guess she is correct. What else do we have here? Kervin, we're going to talk about this trade comment in just a second because I do believe I'm going to try it again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know where the root of sugar and spice and everything nice comes from, if you want to learn how to be a daddy with guns, and I ain't talking about revolvers, I'm talking about the meat guns. I'm talking about the guns that make vegetarians sweat, then you got to turn to the main man. You got to turn to the guy. He is Zach.
Oh, it's good to be here. Joining late, but man, it's good to be here. Let me know what you're talking about, and I'll jump right in.
Yeah, right now we're just going through the weekend review real quick while we're waiting for you to jump in here. What do you think about the Drew McIntyre CM Punk promo?
I thought it was good, even if there's no heat between them. I don't know if Drew actually texted him 9 years ago or not, but even if there's no heat between them, why not make shit up? Because we're doing it with Seth, and it's working.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Real quick, Kervin had this comment. I wish WWE and AEW do a trade like NBA. He would trade Roman Reigns for MJF's second round pick. Quick, who would you trade WWE and AEW?
I would trade Samoa Joe to go to WWE, and he would just run roughshod as like revenge for being treated like shit. And he would throw everyone in a rain jacket after his match.
I dig that. That actually would be really nice, especially on the Triple H.
Yes.
Knock any trade for you?
I actually had to step away for a quick second. What was that?
Kervin asked, AEW and WWE trade like an NBA. Who are you trading from which to which?
I'm making a deal for if I'm doing men's, I'm looking for Seth Rollins. I'm looking for him or AJ. If you don't know Kervin, AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler of all time. If I can get a deal done for AJ where he's not really doing too much, I think on WWE right now, he'll make a bigger splash in AEW. We finally get that Kenny Omega match. We can run back him with Will Ospreay. I'm trading you can take Miro, Malachi Black, the whole House of Black. Keep Juliet Brody and give me AJ. We'll make the deal. They can go be with their wives, do everything, Give me AJ Styles. For the women's side, though, who can you really grab over there? I don't think. I'll try to get Bailey. I think you can make a run at Bailey. Again, someone who's I don't feel is getting a big push that she really deserves. She can make a big splash in AEW.
You guys forgot the obvious trade, and it makes me sad. You obviously give up whatever AEW wants. You give up Seth, you give up Cody, you give up Punk if you want. As long as we get Scotty to freaking Hottie while he can still go, while he can still drop the worm.
I would love to make a trade with you, Eric. I would love to make a trade with you. Oh, man, sign me up. I got a bridge I can sell you, too.
You're telling me, Doc, WrestleMania moment, Otis and Scotty in the ring, hitting the worm and the caterpillar side by side, father and son.
You might go out of business the next week.
Talk about a perfect 10 standing next to each other.
Oh, man. Kerwin, who'd you say you'd make a trade with? There's a lot of possibilities there.
And then before we move on, it's become almost a weekly tradition. It's Zach.
Man, the intros, especially with the Powerpuff Girls, Sugar and Spice, I'm feeling good now.
Yeah. Zach, have you been able to catch Dynamite while you were waiting to jump in?
TK wore me out this week. I'm avoiding AEW for a while.
We're gonna get into it later on in this podcast, but Zach has different opinions on TK. I'm here to defend TK because I've been seeing a lot of hypocrisy going on.
You got many verses already.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The last thing, real quick, on this week of recap before we get to the next one, there was a lot of discussion on Edge and Griff Garrison. A lot of people say, "Oh, now Edge's aura is gone. He's looking like a mid-carder," and Edge is saying he's just out there having fun. He's a guy he wanted to wrestle. What do you guys think on Edge wrestling guys like Griff Garrison in the he's calling it the Cope Open Challenge to get them over? And then there's some discourse going on the internet.
I 1000% love it because I think more legends should be doing this. I wish Chris Jericho would do this. Like, once you're at a certain part of your career, you're not the attraction anymore. You're supposed to put people over. So dope. Good on Adam.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I mean, again, this is someone Edge talked about even before I think joining, or when he first joined. He likes Griff Garrison. He wants to get him over. So I don't really see the big deal with this. We all know who Edge is. We all know he's still gonna be, one of the top guys. It's not like people act like he lost. He didn't lose. Yeah, Griff Garrison got some hits in, but what would you expect? He's trying to teach him something real quick. That's gonna go a long way than just a quick squash match, which I see people complain, oh, why do people always do squash matches in AEW? Well, you didn't get a squash match this time, you still complaining.
Yeah.
This is why the hypocrisy is real. The other thing with the weekend recap real quick, we have AEW Homecoming on tonight. A lot of big matches. People are expecting maybe a debut or return. Last time they had this many women in a match, Saraya debuted. Zach, do you see Mercedes on the horizon? Someone else? Maybe a return from Jamie Hayter?
I would like to see more people debut other than Deanna or return, because then it's not going to overshadow when Mercedes does show up. I would like this to be, I don't want to say a revolution for the women's division AEW, but I want this to be a big kind of month-long thing building up to Mercedes being the final boss of the new people coming back in and making the women's division seem like something in AEW. So I'd love to see Jamie Hayter or someone else debut or do something in AEW.
Okay. I was saying, I think because with the network, they're not going to have Mercedes. They're pretty much going to tease it, or you're pretty much going to know when she's coming. I don't think it's going to be a surprise. So I figured more of a return. Not sure who, though. Let us know in the chat what you guys think. I think it's time to get to the TNA belts. Is it time? We haven't talked about enough TNA. Datilla, if you're out there, it's coming.
Oh, we're going to talk about the belts now? Yeah, get to it. You're good.
First off, again, we put out polls every week. Jump on the community notes if you want to look at our polls. Come participate in those. Leave your comments for sure. Last week's poll, I don't know if Zach or Eric put this one out there. I'm not too sure. How would you rather spend your Friday? watching all of John Cena's best matches with Zach, primetime shout out, watching Impact Wrestling with Eric, or watching every worm, which of course, who would want to see that with Sky Tuhati and Knock? I mean, come on now. Why would you pair me with him? That's like just throwing me to the wolves here. But with an astounding 41% of the vote, people would rather watch Eric watch Impact Wrestling. Eric, how long are you to deny the people?
Well, clearly, there's a hidden percentage you're not taking into account, because as you cannot see the man himself, you cannot see his votes. So we should assume that that's like 50% really to watch it with Zach. So I say let's just do it. Let's do a watch along John Cena matches. It's got to happen.
Eric, I will 100% do that. I just have to have time where I can get liquored up and watch. That's my only caveat. I cannot watch John Cena matches sober.
You know what? We should make this a punishment for the Rumble.
I'll do
First
that.
person eliminated has to do one of the things.
Oh man, we better rig this so Eric loses.
Oh man. Let us know what punishments you guys think should happen in the chat.
Can I tee this next part up, Knock? I just have this set up because we have this thing going. If you're new to the channel, Knock is the biggest TNA fan. He makes Scott D'Amore look tiny, and that's tough to do. So the biggest TNA fan on the face of the earth, Knock, is going to talk about the belts that TNA is introducing this week. And then Eric, the biggest hate TNA hater in the world, is going to react, live reaction to the photos that TNA put out themselves of each of these championship belts. So you're going to get Knock glorifying these new TNA championship belts Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays, because obviously the next 2 days haven't happened. And Eric is going to give his live reaction to what he thinks of these belts. So Knock, take it away.
All right. It is time for the moment you all been waiting for. 'Tis the season. TNA's new belts are here.
No, don't fuck with my slides.
Oh, my bad, Zach. I jumped the gun there. But Eric, on Sunday, we got the reveal of the new TNA X Division Championship. It's a combination of all the X Division belts. And it's magnificent.
Okay.
Take us through the whole week now. Just take us through the whole week yourself. Just give everything the rub and tell us what the
and then Monday
was for you.
And then Monday, right? Have you ever seen a title look good with a red strap? No, you haven't. Not until TNA debuted the new World Tag Team Championships. Not until they debuted the real greatest tag team to go after. ABC Club is the TNA World Tag Team Champions. And fun fact, when Chris Bay was a kid, he reviewed the TNA World Championship on his YouTube channel, and now he has some real gold. That's a lifelong dream for the man. Are you kidding me? When do you ever see that happen in WWE? You see that happen in TNA, man, and I'm so happy to see that. That was Monday. Now Tuesday comes, and the TNA Digital Championship, looking better than most people's World Championship debuts. Tommy Dreamer taking on Crazy Steve for the
Sorry,
world.
I'm trying so hard to
digital media championship.
Easier.
Eric, this is my turn, man. Please. We be professional for once.
Yes.
The Digital Media Championship held by Tommy Dreamer, the hardcore legend, debuted on Tuesday. Looks better than most people's world title. Come at me.
Of course.
And then Wednesday, the crown jewel, if you will. Great balls of fire. Scott D'Amore dropped the real TNA World Championship, held by Alex Shelley, one half of the Motor City Machine Guns, the greatest tag team of all professional wrestling. Wednesday today, you should be talking about Dynamite. No, we're talking about Total Nonstop Action, who actually sold out. They sold out, baby.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
You come on a Saturday in Las Vegas at the Palms, you're going to walk into a building full of thousands of roaring TNA fans happy to see Hard to Kill.
Okay.
All right.
We're only on Wednesday. We're getting more reveals tomorrow.
Oh.
We got the knockouts on Thursday and the Women's World Championship on Friday. Is that right,
And I'm
Knock?
planning on doing a predictions. If anyone could join me for that, let us know and jump in the chat as we get those predictions out there.
Okay. All right, anything else to add about the week in TNA titles, Knock?
I mean, are these not the best looking sets of titles in the world right now? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
We will find out. Eric, are you ready to give us your take on each one of these Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
Before we do, I don't usually ask for likes on these videos, but I demand likes because I fought so hard to keep my. Oh, you people better like the restraint I just showed. Let me out, Zach. Let me out of the cage.
All right, here we go. Sunday. Eric, what do you see here?
I see a reason that I should apologize to my little nephew because Knock, when he was a kid, he drew this little painting, and I thought, oh, this is a cute attempt, but it's shit. Kid, you're shit. You know, I thought I'm gonna be honest with him. I'm gonna tell him the truth. Your little kitty drawings, it's not going on the fridge because it's shit. But now this makes me want to call him 18 years later and say, kid, there's people out there that's worse than you. What is this? What am I looking at? VNA? VNT? What am I supposed to be reading here, Knock? Huh? VCR?
First of all, there was clearly a better shot of the TNA X Division Championship he could have gotten. Okay, I'm gonna start there.
These are from TNA's Twitter, Knock, so do not hate me. I'm just putting out what TNA put out. You had your time, Eric.
Props to TNA. I mean, they have a Twitter account. That's impressive. I didn't think they were that organized. But this title belt makes me envy the blind. This title belt makes me wonder, did they see the hardcore title and they're like, hey guys, you know how it was like smashed up and then like it was cool, ironically? Let's smash ours and just got some crazy glue. Ernie, bring it over here. This piece goes over here, Ernie. Or when the fucking UPS man was delivering it, he dropped it and he's like, oh my god, it fell apart. Quick, we gotta get this shit together before the boss finds out. And this is what came about. Did they hire some eccentric New York designer who's like, darling, this title belt will be perfect if you just follow my vision? And this is what they came up with.
Why sound like Edna from
exactly.
Yes. Hey, that's a good thing. Now I would love Edna to make a title belt for TNA. Come on.
Not if she's making this. Not if she's making this.
All right. Eric, are you ready for Monday's debut belt?
I'm ready.
Okay. What do you think of the new tag team championship and their presentation of it?
I mean, clearly we're on the same page. They must have spilled some ketchup on that belt and they tried to rub it out, but they didn't learn you're supposed to dab, not rub. So like, damn, guys, we can't get it out. Fuck it, just paint the rest of it red. They watched Daredevil on Netflix and like, hey guys, no, it's really cool, that Daredevil kid. I want to be just like him. I want to grow up to look like him. Let's do all red. Are they gonna start bleeding more in Impact, Knock? Are they trying to do the Deadpool rule
First
where
all, we started all
bleed?
the bleeding and all the blood stuff? Let's be real here. We were total lots of action. People were calling our matches car wrecks just to get at us, but even though they were classics, now everyone's copying it. That's another story.
I'm glad you brought up the name because if you didn't, I wouldn't have looked at this terrible font. What the fuck is this font? Is it a triangle for the?
It's Pac-Man font.
It's terrible.
It's not Pac-Man font.
oh! Instead of powering up, I feel like I'm weakening just looking at this thing.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Eric, the new
some TNA fans trash these people, man.
I showed restraint. This man owes me some professionalism.
Eric, the Digital Media Championship here being tried on by Tommy Dreamer at a Men's Warehouse. Eric, what do you make of the new? Again, this is a picture released by TNA of Tommy Dreamer trying this on and buying the belt for Hard to Kill tickets at a Men's Warehouse.
Hard to Kill tickets are sold out, by the way.
Well, it's because Tommy Dreamer gave them all away for his comps.
It might be hard to kill, but I guess it's also hard to design. This doesn't even look. It just looks like guys. We used all our color on the other title belt. All we've got is gold, no red, no nothing. Just do a little scrap of red on there. This is not. First of all, the choice of Tommy Dreamer wearing it, bad choice. Second, Photoshop exists. At the very least, do something for him. Third, this title belt makes me want to buy suspenders. I would much rather take the chance. You know what? I'd rather have.
It looks more like a titty belt.
He's got his girdle. They might as well. I'd rather hand out a business card that says, "Hello, I am the Digital Impact Media Champion," than wear this disgrace 1 pound of tin foil.
Oh man, there it is. Next one. The milk's going bad, Doc. All right, let's get. And now today's, you can see here as a crossover being pawned off on Pawn Stars. The Impact Wrestling Championship is being traded off. Not, I like the crossover that TNA is doing. I think it makes sense. Eric, what do you think Alex Shelley got for the Impact Championship when he pawned it off?
Slap in the face for disrespecting the Pawn Stars. I forgot to say this also about the tag team champions. ABC Club sounds like there's some Disney Channel Mickey Mouse Clubhouse tag team, but this title belt, I would not eat dinner off that title plate. That plate looks like it is just disgusting. It just makes me sick. Knock, I have to ask you a question.
Shoot.
You're telling me I could walk in down the street with this title belt? You're not going to call an insane asylum for me? You're not going to give me some help?
That's a heavy pound of gold. That's not even the actual belt right now. Let's get to the new belt. That's the old one.
Well, we got 2 more next week because this is the lineup right here. So that's it. You got 2 more to do next week, Eric. We'll get your opinions, and Knock, you can hype up the women's belts next week.
I'm sure they're gonna look amazing.
Yeah, it's fashionistas over here.
You're back in control, Knock.
Well, yeah. Let's get to the real belts here. Thank you very much. This is what the real belts looks like. A real look at the belts, not the cheap nonsense Zach threw together. Look at that world title belt. You can't tell me that in the left corner, that's not a great world title looking belt, man. Come on, that's classic right there. Our digital media championship. Come on, it's a nice belt. We're doing great.
That's a tiny ass belt. Look, besides the point, that is a tiny ass belt.
I don't think it's that tiny in real life.
It should fit Rio fine.
I mean, look. Have you seen the IWGP Championship? That looks like a butterfly, but we're gonna roast TNA with the. You know the lineage of champions of this belt, and I'm glad I teed that up for me because very soon on the channel, me and Eric will be doing the TNA World Champions, everyone in history. We come to the channels. Keep it out for that, and we're gonna show Eric the lineage of this belt and who's held it because I think it's the most prestigious World Championship in wrestling history.
And I think it is a list of everyone who's been through hard times.
Does that X Division belt have a mustache?
Hey, Cody.
It does.
It does not have a mustache. Eric, how does that Cody song go?
I don't remember.
Our times breed better men. You just sung it last week.
I don't remember that. Don't remember that one bit. That's revisionist history right there.
Could look a little better. I'll give you that, Zach. But I mean,
let me just say, Trent Seven just joined. He might get that belt next.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
That's the mustache mountain belt.
We got other guys. We have all right. Anyone in the chat, let us know. There's a huge signee coming. TNA. It's supposed to be a major guy or girl. Who knows? Let us know who you think it is, because I think we signed someone huge.
It'd be Hulk Hogan.
It can't be him again.
No.
Honestly, that might be the only time I jumped the guardrail. I might jump the guardrail if that happened.
I will cheer so flipping hard. I'll stream Impact TNA every week.
Get it right, man. With that being said, these are the 4 world titles previous. What is your TNA World Championship? What is the best looking TNA World Championship? For me, it's the original one, the first one, the winged one in the top right corner. That was my favorite TNA World Championship. The one on the left is the NWA Championship. We held that for a bit during the early days of TNA. And then, yeah, the Impact, the current one, and then the other one right there, the big gold belt right there on the bottom left. Mine's in the top right corner. Let's know in chat your favorite. Nubico says Nick Nemeth. I could see it, man. Go back from TNA and a New Japan. I think we'll have a bigger impact TNA. I think it's some big things there. Nick Nemeth versus Josh Alexander. Come on now.
Don't do that to poor Nick.
I mean, look what WWE did to him for a while. They strung him out. I agree, Dubico. The original TNA title is my favorite as well. It's just it was perfection. That's my favorite title of all time, actually.
Yeah, the winged. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like they got the inspiration for that from like.
If you put side by side with WWE, this one looks a lot better. That WWE one was ugly. Let's be real here. Time has
You're gonna
passed.
catch a lot of flack for that one.
I'll double down on that. That WWE winged title was ugly compared to the TNA one.
Everybody knows the only good title here is the NWA title, because for a moment you got to watch TNA and pretend that you weren't watching TNA.
Hey, you know what? Listen, how about this? TNA made R-Truth world champion. How many years has he been in WWE? Can't be the world champ? Come on now.
Now, we've talked about that, and that was a great moment in history, but TNA did not make him the new member of the Judgment Day, which is the greatest thing he has ever done, leading the Judgment Day.
Real quick, if anyone in the chats, if you're in the giving mood, TNA just got some merch.
No, we are not. No, okay. I've let you get away with a lot on this channel. We are not peddling TNA merch on this fucking channel. Next slide. Next slide.
Shop. We have a new hat, a new hoodie.
Kevin Hart. Who got it? Which from Katt Williams during the Club Shay Shay interview?
Oh man, Zach, take this away. Enlighten Eric of what happened this past week.
Did either of you watch it?
I did. Come on now.
Bits and pieces.
I loved it. It was. He's a hilarious guy.
Yes, he is. He's something else. I'll just say that. Most of the comedians that I've come in contact with, that I keep up with on social media, did not post their sets on the weekend. They always post their Thursday, Friday, and Saturday sets. That's like what their social media is. I go on there, get some chuckles, and see what they're up to. Nothing but Katt Williams posts all weekend from every one of them. This was a big deal in the comedy community. He made one good point I just want to let everyone sit on for a second here, because no matter what kind of comedy you're into, you will kind of notice this, especially with people's movies. Comedians have certain groups. They stick to those groups inside of clubs. They stick to those groups when they hire for movies or TV shows. They are friends and they help each other out. They do not really venture outside those groups. And you can kind of see that they don't do projects with other comedians who have their own groups as well. It's a very weird thing, but it is what it is. He calls out a bunch of comedians that are in what he calls a certain group too. He called out everybody. I mean, it was nuts. He went off on everyone. He is like a closet full of skeleton bones. This dude just let everything just out on everybody. That is why this poll is very interesting, that Steve Harvey got the worst of it, because he went off on people that he has worked with in the past, like Ricky Smiley. He has held on to receipts for every one of them. He has noticed the fact that comedians just kind of like put whoever they want over. He called out a lot of things here with these comedians, and let us know in the chat if you watched this, your biggest reveal here that you thought came out of this interview. But the fact that he was calling out the Kings of Comedy, which was one of the biggest comedy shows on video cassette and DVD in the late 90s, early 2000s, and pretty much said that the other comedians hated Bernie Mac. And the whole process of how that became the Kings of Comedy, that was a big revelation to me, because I don't know any of that shit, and I just got lost in a rabbit hole looking that up. The stuff with Ricky Smiley and how it was in his contract after they worked together, Katt Williams would never work with him again unless he was in a dress, and bam, his next movie they worked together, he was in a dress. Steve Harvey wore a wig after he stole a whole bunch of Hanging with Mr. Cooper's material and TV show. Kevin Hart being a plant from New York. He said no one remembers standing in line to a Kevin Hart show or getting a standing ovation here in LA. He was a New York plant who got his Hollywood deals and is, I'll just say a yes man to be polite, from what Katt said. And Steve Harvey, I gotta go back to him, that wig, the whole wig thing. If you look at old pictures of Steve Harvey, man, I mean, it's, when you watch some of his sitcom stuff, you kind of see when the lights kind of, make him shine up there a little bit, kind of like if you wore a wig. But and then Cedric the Entertainer, that was just a weird, like, I don't know how to explain the Cedric stuff, but it was very again, it translates into the Bernie Mac stuff. I just fucking love Bernie Mac, but he went off on a lot of other people here. He called out Chris Tucker, Tiffany Haddish, was it Wanda Smith?
Yeah,
bunch of fucking people. Not Sykes. No, we love Sykes. Wanda Smith. He even called out Christmas. He said Christmas. He said Michael Jackson gave Chris Tucker a name Christmas. Then he said to Shannon Sharp, "You ever have a grown man give you a nickname like that?" Me neither. It was insane.
And then he sips his drink, and it's just like he's the most pettiest person of all time, man.
He is so petty. So let me hear your thoughts on this, and Eric yours as well, because I got lost for 2 days. 2 days.
I'll cover some of the stuff. Like I've been watching it because it's just he's such a funny dude, man. So what he says is hilarious, but he's also saying some truth here. I mean, I'll start with Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, the whole King's comedy. I like DL Hughley. He was on a radio show in New York. What was it? 98.7 Kiss FM. So I heard him a lot growing up, and I obviously I've seen this movie, seen this comedy. So I like him. Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, like for years, I never found them that funny. Like I just never thought they were like that top tier, and they were always in movies, they're always doing all this stuff. So it was just when he says this stuff, it just made sense. And then you see there's side by side videos of Cedric stealing his shit, and then he went on to say like what's the thing, like he had did his he worked on a joke. He had Mark Curry help him write the joke, help him like not write it, but help him like get it to another level. So when he was doing it, I guess Cedric thought, oh, he's some like no name guy, I could steal it without no one knowing. But at the time, Katt Williams was doing like some BET stuff, so his joke was being run on TV, even though he's like a smaller, lesser name at the time. So he steals it. You see the side by side, it lines up. He changes like one thing. I think he said he changed it from like being a car to being a spaceship.
Yep.
And it's not even just about the stealing jokes. There's like behind the scenes stuff where like they're trying to like steal roles from people or hold people back. Like they try to hold Bernie back. I think Bernie had got a movie, and then Steve Harvey's supposed to be his friend, but he's like calling people, say, I'll take a pay cut to get the role from Bernie, to try to hold him back. And he's trying to say like, I didn't want to be a movie star. And Katt's like, no, you couldn't be a movie star. The funniest part to me, he said something about Cedric Entertainer. He was like, you're supposed to be Cedric Entertainer. You're supposed to be able to sing, dance, and all this other stuff. And then we found out he can't sing or dance. He just sit there. And like that, the way he said it, I know I can't deliver like he did. I was in tears. So he just says stuff like the most hilarious way possible. And he's saying like some stuff. So it's like all that behind backstabby type of stuff they were talking about. With Ricky Smiley, talking about he tried to like lie and say like the role of Money Mike was supposed to be for him. And then he had to correct him and say, no, like that role of Money Mike was a small role when I got it, auditioned for with 200 people. He wrote all the lines. He expanded it so much. He got so much more TV or so much more screen time because he was just killing everybody on the set. So there's stuff like that. It's a whole interview. Like we go on a separate video if we want to keep going on it, but it's just boil it down. It's hilarious, and he just takes shots at everybody. We didn't get Katt Williams on Club Shay Shay. We got the pimp named Slickback.
Eric, your take on Katt Williams going off on everybody?
I usually when like celebs do these kind of interviews, I like to err on the side of we don't know what's going on, but I believe Katt. His credibility is not in question for me. I've always said that he's a funny stand-up comedian. I'm not like huge into his stand-up, but I've always liked him as an actor more because you can always tell that he is the one who's writing a lot of his dialogue. Like that's him. So when he said like some of these people like they just could not be movie stars, I'm like, yeah, I fully buy it. I fully get why you're the one in these positions. It had to be said. I give him props for holding out this long. I don't know what spurned it. Because like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing.
So like pretty much like Club Shay, I like Shannon Sharp. I watch a lot of his stuff. Steve Harvey, Cedric Entertainer, and Ricky Smiley all had separate episodes on Club Shay Shay, and they were pretty much like lying, he was saying. So then he was trying to, and Shannon Sharp was trying to get this interview with Katt Williams for like a long time. Finally, like they worked out the dates and the schedules. So then we came into this after seeing all those other interviews. He was like, "You can't have these people lying on your platform." So I'm gonna set the record straight. Why he just got in there and said, "I'm gonna go off." He wasn't promoting nothing. I mean, he's on tour right now. He wasn't really promoting much. He was just trying to like just clear the record. That's why it came up.
Which is like another reason I believe him, because he has just been quietly doing his thing. Like he has no reason to look for attention. He's just been touring and taking care of his business. Like sometimes I wish I'd hear more from him, but yeah. I buy it. I'm on Team Katt.
I want to ask Zach this. Zach is the comedian of the group here. So like he said something along the lines of, that the real comics, the real people that do this, you're in that circuit, you're doing stand up. He said Steve Harvey, he didn't just give up stand up. He couldn't do it. That's why like he stopped doing it. He said, "Oh, I'm too busy doing this and this and this." Like he was like, "That's not what really happens." He was like, he wants to bring people up that are actually like funny and actually in these like comedy stores or like places like doing like actual comedy, doing the grind, doing the work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like you said, I can't remember if it was you or Zach who said it, but I mean, Steve Harvey and Cedric Entertainer shows, they're not that good. They are the same. Every time they get a new show, it's the same premise over and over, and it's just really weird.
Yeah, and I have nothing against them. Like obviously they're big in like the community in a sense, but I just never found them funny. So like when I see this, like it makes sense. And you see like the Bernie Mac show, man, and like this dude is just everything, just oozing. Everything about Bernie was just great.
Bernie Mac is just God, I just effing love Bernie Mac so much. If you want to get into wrestling, look up Triple H on Bernie Mac. It was just a well-written thing where his kids calling Triple H and just like bullshit. Like it's so funny. That's Bernie Mac to me. And Bernie Mac is just on the spot, just funny. His take on the Menace to Society bit and Don't Be a Menace is fucking hilarious too. I don't really. What you just said, Knock, about Steve Harvey and what Katt said about him giving up stand-up. He has said in an interview, and I took note on this because I take note on what comedians think about the times changing. Katt Williams in here said that because Shannon Sharp brought it up, you can't do Delirious, you can't do Richard Pryor, you can't do these things nowadays. Katt Williams gave them all their credit, man. He said they wouldn't have said it back then. They didn't say stuff you couldn't say back then. They wouldn't do it right now. They still would have been genius comedians.
Yeah.
So I take into account stuff like that because it makes me think, because every time I try to do stand-up again, it's like every so-and-so years after stuff happens, in life, I kind of be able to get back into it. And it changes. Every time I try to do it, it changes. Everything changes. How people talk and how people deliver their stand-up and what people can or cannot say. When you do stand-up, a lot of it now in an open mic is testing stuff out. You're trying out material, right? When you are a headliner, you're doing material that you're usually proven, and it's usually like really good stuff. A lot of comedians will still do stuff around here in LA at the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory and stuff like that, and test out material. They will just randomly show up. Dave Chappelle does it, and a lot of other comedians do it. I can't see just giving that up. Steve Harvey said in an interview that he stopped doing stand-up. I think it was recently, within like the last 3 or 4 years, I do believe, because it was during cancel culture. He said because you cannot say anything. And he doesn't want to mess with it, so that's why he's doing these other business opportunities. He's doing Family Feud. He's doing the Judge Show. He's doing all these other things because he's just worried about getting his money right and just doing stuff and being productive or whatever he said. Like, after watching this Katt interview, I kind of feel like that's a little bit suspect because there's no way, if you're that deep in comedy and if you are a king of comedy, you're not just giving that up. You don't just stop doing that. You just don't. I mean, the amount of comedians who just randomly go to a club when they're on the road, if they're on vacation, they'll just go to a club and drop in and do a 3-minute set, or they'll do a half hour or an hour set just because it's just in their blood. The Katt Williams stuff that he said in here, it just, I don't see too many lies in here because mainly of the responses from everyone. So the responses were soft. Ice Cube was the only one who was firm, who said there was no rape scene ever in here, and everything else that Katt said about Friday, he didn't dispute. So Katt was probably right about all that.
You could tell like from his demeanor, the way he was talking, he was just trying to clear up like the image of his movie. He wasn't trying to dispute anything Katt said. He's just like, hey, with my movie, we never wrote this in here. This wasn't a part of that. But this Katt stuff, I'm not even going to touch that because he's telling the truth. I think he gave him his props a few times in there.
Yeah. This is just like I just got so sunk into it because I just wanted to see what other people react to this online. But these are huge names in comedy, man. It's to just like go after, and like Katt will go after people, but I mean, like, again, this is a group of people who are very close and tight knit in comedy that he kind of went after and kind of outed.
Yeah.
And
The whole
the
Kevin Hart
responses
stuff, I'm still like, I'm torn because I like Kevin Hart, I do. But what he said about like coming over to here and just immediately you have a show, you have this, it makes sense. And so that was
I
kind of,
never heard of Kevin Hart until he had a special.
mm,
I'll say this: the last person I never heard of until they had a special was Dane Cook. I'm very suspect about Dane Cook.
interesting.
Not, I don't want to like get my foot in my mouth here, but there's just certain avenues that certain comedians are able to take to get
Yeah.
big.
There's just so many layers to it. There's some other stuff he's had said, about what people would do for a role that he wouldn't do. I'm not gonna get to that stuff, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. Kevin Hart's career was kind of weird coming in because I think the first thing I ever saw him in was like, what was that fucking movie called? It was like the parody of Spider-Man with Drake Bell. I didn't realize that was. Yeah, it was like he played like the best friend. I was like, huh, okay, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I didn't know he was in stuff at all. I seen him in Soul Plane, and then he kind of like disappeared a little bit for me, and then he came back with his specials, which I love. Those specials were great. Like I'm not gonna act like he was funny. So that's the only person, like everyone else on this list, I don't think they were funny at all. That's why I think everyone else got it worse because Kevin Hart's still gonna be Kevin Hart, still gonna make his money. Everyone else, I thought like there was no ounce of laughter I got from anybody else on this list. No offense to them. I can't watch Kings of Comedy because I can't watch Steve Harvey or Cedric Entertainer.
I actually, before I left for LA, they did a Kings of Comedy show here, and I took my mom as like a little present, and I can honestly say that I remember that their portions I was not entertained. I was just sitting there.
And that's my thing. Like they're always like in these movies, and like they're supposed to. It's like when they force you like to. They're like forcing someone to be funny, and it's not working for me. What I used to love watching was when Martin had his stuff going on. You've seen people like Chris Tucker come through. You've seen I think Kevin Hart was on there too. Actually, there's Bernie Mac came through there. I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you, brother. Like there's a lot. I love that. That's what I watched.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think about this whole thing. It doesn't seem like it's dying down. I think the interview crossed like 40-something million.
It'll be hot. He'll probably get. Yeah, he might even get like a Netflix special out of this or something. So we'll see.
Oh, I think he's working. He's on tour right now, so I think he's getting a special. Zach, what do you think about this? I'm looking at it right now. Kevin Hart's ex-wife is going on tour with Katt Williams now.
Cold-blooded.
Hey, that's a beautiful one.
From one messy situation to another, we have. Oh, man, hold on. Excuse me there. Yesterday, TK dropped some bombs, and this is where me and Zach might disagree here. I'll start with this happened. TK just said, "Hey, why are people upset that Hook is getting a title shot when he's like 38-1? He's a champion here. He's well respected, but people didn't blink an eye when Jinder got a world title shot after not having a win in a year. He's like 0-40, and now he's getting a world title shot. Make it make sense." He said that. Then Jinder's like, everyone's like, "Wow, you're making fun of Jinder, He was talking about the bookie. He wasn't talking about Jinder. And then Jinder's like, "Who the fuck is Hook?" And then Taz comes in and says Hook. And then, I think what's Max, not Max Caster, Anthony Bowen jumped in somewhere there. Someone started making gay jokes at him, and then he shut those down quick. There was a lot of banter. And someone in NXT, I forget his name, but he pretty much told Tony Khan to shut the fuck up. So it was a lot of just shit being thrown. Where I'm defending TK with this is no one batted an eye in the 90s when Eric Bischoff was taking his shots at WWE. No one batted an eye when USA Network took a shot at the Jaguars getting eliminated. Everyone thought it was, it's funny. Put the Kurt Angle meme. No one batted an eye when people are constantly taking shots at TK left and right. Triple H saying, "Oh yeah, we got Jade Cargill now. She didn't really learn much where she was before, but we got her now. She's gonna learn here." No one batted an eye when they're taking these shots left and right. I see all these people on Twitter because I run our Twitter. I think Zach's on there as well. They're supposed to be unbiased, talking about just love pro wrestling. I like pro wrestling. Then you see them put all these crazy biased stuff like against AEW and then try to promote WWE, which is fine if you like one or the other. Just don't fake it. Like just be upfront about it. And so I gotta see TK's point. Now, should the boss of a company be on Twitter like attacking like certain things? No, it's a bad look. That's not what I agree with. But I do agree, like, hey, there's some shit, like there's a lot of fake people out there trying to just get rid of AEW or like put out these bad reports, and it's kind of crazy. Zach, to that, what do you say?
The booking is the same to me. Hook getting a title shot and Jinder getting a title shot is the same because it's done in wrestling time and time again. Someone random just to get in a filler here. We just saw Zoe Stark face Rhea Ripley at a pay-per-view. It's a filler. It is what it is. Hook getting in there, cool. Get him on TV, get him doing something. It's a filler to get to Joe's, like, whatever is going to be booked. Jinder is a thank you for taking it from The Rock for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So cool, whatever. If you're going to go off on Twitter like this, if you're going to pay attention to this and just like piss and moan about this, this is ridiculous to me that he's getting this up in arms about this when he doesn't get up in arms about his cameraman showing on live TV a person in their crowd saying book the women's division better. He was silent as a mother during that, and like all of a sudden now he's bitching about Jinder Mahal. Okay, let me just say this, man. I know at a young age as a father not to give a kid a phone. Stay off Twitter.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Well, what's my other evidence here? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm seeing so much like, and again, I don't think it's that serious. Like for them all to be doing this, I think now. Oh, that's another thing. Here's hypocrisy. All of a sudden, we have a whole bunch of Jinder fans. Everyone loves Jinder, and I see people saying, "Oh, Jinder's great, WWE champion. We love him." No, don't get me wrong. I liked when Jinder won the title. It was different. I love his entrance. I love his whole presentation. Don't get me wrong. I was one of the guys that like enjoyed that, for a little bit, for some things. His whole Shinsuke Nakamura thing, he should have lost to Shinsuke. But we have a whole people come out the woodwork saying, "Oh, Jinder's my favorite wrestler. Jinder this, Jinder that." All this BS. So you're gonna tell me like TK's not right? People just making shit up now, trying to rewrite history. And I don't know what has gotten into Eric Bischoff, but he started talking about like, AEW's turning into TNA. First of all, like that's a compliment.
That's a death sentence.
No, and then he wants to act like, what do you mean AEW's turning into TNA? TNA was the hottest thing on like coming up. They were like 1 million views a week. They were on a national network, and then you came in and killed it. So what do you mean AEW's turning into TNA? Before or after you came? Because what is the positive, what's the negative?
That's a good point.
So, like, all this stuff, man. Like, and again, I think I'm trying to defend TK because he's part of making wrestling fun again. Having competition is great. He needs to chill with tweeting. Don't get me wrong, but all this people just come out the woodworks and just punch down at the guy. It's crazy.
That is so true. Your marriage is turning into my third failed marriage. That's a good point, Knock.
That's all I'm saying. I agree with Zach with like, just stop tweeting, bro. Like for real. I get it. You try to defend yourself. Some of those shots, but you don't need to do it. Defend yourself with the product on the TV on the screen.
So, most important part of all this is to remember fuck TNA Impact, but also don't hinder Jinder. But we talked about this when AEW and WWE first started doing their back and forths. That I said it's very cool for AEW to do it because they are the underdogs. It's not cool when the bigger person, the bigger company punches down on someone. That said, Tony Khan has somehow proven me wrong. He has proved to me that, yes, you can be the underdog and take it way too far because he does it too much.
Nah, I think
now, but here's the thing. You pointed out a good point that like Monday Night Wars, like it's exciting when they do it. But the difference I think being is that correct me if I'm wrong, Zach. I imagine that it was 50-50. Or at the very least, it was competitive, like jabbing back and forth. It wasn't just one side being like, hey, you guys suck. Hey, we're better than you. Hey, the other side's like, all right, cool. We're over here doing our thing.
We didn't have social media back then, so we didn't fucking know.
Yeah. I mean, social media, kind of ruins everything. But perception-wise, nowadays, the amount that Tony Khan does it is a lot harder than WWE does it nowadays.
Let me just also say, too, Eric Bischoff was a villain because if he did this shit on air, especially with the Mankind title change. He became a villain that night, and that's when the tide turns. His 88 days or whatever the hell that was got sunk for doing something like what TK is doing on Twitter on air. So it's Eric Bischoff, if he was smart, he'd just say, hey, TK, learn from me. Don't do this. TK also don't get mad at a company account. You're basically getting mad at the Wendy's Twitter. Like that's all you're really doing.
Yeah.
Which you're never going to win.
Right. And also, Mr. All Power, chill out with that comment. He's not.
Yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is just a filler match, like Zach said. Which honestly, if TK said nothing, I think we would all take it as like I've seen people say that they like this version of Jinder. Fine, you're allowed to. I don't think Jinder's a bad wrestler. I just think he never should have been champion because that was an experiment to get people to watch in India, and it just did not work out. But if you just give him this filler match, and then because it's Royal Rumble doesn't matter for championships, then we're happy. And we agreed that I believe logically, Hook in kayfabe deserves a championship match, but you don't need to go online and do that. That's what we do. We come on the internet and say why it makes sense. You're busy making the shit, so just make the shit.
Yeah. I get your point, though, Knock. Your defense of Tony Khan technically is 100% correct. I will side with you on that. It's just how he goes about doing it is just ridiculous.
I agree too, man. And like I see some of the wrestlers like coming out and cringing. And as soon as like the USA Network account sent that about the Jaguars, I knew a response was coming.
Oh,
the other thing too, I'm curious about is like I know WWE does some shady stuff behind the scenes where like we don't see what they're doing, like with some of the network stuff or like some of the venues.
Yeah.
So I know like there's some stuff that behind the scenes too that's making him pissed off. I just think he needs to like again, I'm all for defending yourself. I get it, but just the way you're going about it doesn't look good.
I will say, I mean, WWE has definitely done shady stuff. Like I still leaves a bad taste in my mouth when Tony Khan let them have their wrestlers for like when WWE needs them to shoot a documentary or when they want them to show up to wish the greatest wrestler of all time, John Cena, a happy birthday. But then the next week, WWE will do or say something shady and refer to them as the second company. Like, so WWE can be pretty bitchy sometimes, but don't stick to their level.
And at the end of the day, too, like I don't know what's going on behind the scenes in AEW. Like I can't really speak on that, but from the surface level, from what I see, TK is not as bad as Vince. I noticed that's a very high bar there.
I was going to say, if you have to make that comparison, then that might hurt TK.
Because like, okay, because people try to act like he's like they're trying to like really drag the dude. Like,
yeah, there's a difference between like you need a lawyer to talk to your boss, or you need to give your boss a juice box and a timeout.
Yeah,
like, there's some stuff I be seeing like it's just like crazy to me. Like people act like I get he's vilifying himself doing this stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I don't know. You have to see what I see on Twitter, man. Like these hypocrites.
You also have to remember, like, what was shit? I saw that you popped up that comment, and for a second I thought I meant me. I lost my train of thought.
No.
Let me just get to this quote really quick. I'm sorry. Did you guys see the new Chappelle show? I know you asked Knock, but I don't have Netflix.
I seen like the first. I didn't see him. I seen like the first joke, like the first 15 minutes.
Okay.
I wanted to watch it, but fun fact: did you guys hear about him leaving the show halfway because of the cell phone?
No.
So he did a show here at the Hard Rock, and I was going to get tickets for it, but I just moved here and didn't have the money for it. But he left like halfway into the set because he has everybody's phones confiscated before the show starts. Somebody managed to sneak one in, and he noticed, and he just left halfway through the show.
Well, you know the rules going in there. Everyone knows the rules if you're going to see Chappelle. You don't just accidentally go to a show. Oh, my cell phone get taken away.
Yeah,
like, you know the rules.
They knew what they're doing. They knew what they're doing.
Yeah,
which
100%.
I only thing is I love Chappelle. He is, in my opinion, the greatest stand-up comedian, one of the greatest storytellers. But that leaves so everybody else who followed the rules, though, they miss out on half a show. I would just kick that guy out.
Yeah, I would have made a scene about it.
Yeah.
I would have been a scene too, man. I would have been pissed. Like, spent all this money, spent all the time trying to go see Dave Chappelle and some
Right.
BS dude on the phone.
Right, you're given
Right.
carte blanche now, and the
I'm-
audience is going to be behind you. You are given carte blanche to just tear into someone. You know, there's some
Yeah.
comedians that do this because their sets suck, and that's all they got left is to just tear at someone because of what they're wearing or because of their size or something fucking stupid like that. This guy gave you carte blanche to just tear into someone. You don't need to worry about your material. You can go after him for 20 minutes. That's what you should have done, 100%.
Real quick, because you said Chappelle's your favorite. What are you guys' top three? I think the way I have it, I got Eddie, Pryor, maybe Rock, somewhere in that list. Well, what is your guys' top three?
Not in any order. Rock, Pryor, Carlin, and probably hovering at number 4. I just love how she delivers stuff because she's herself. Wanda Sykes.
Yeah, one's great.
Not gonna lie, I can't think of a top 3 that I want to commit to a top 3 right now. So Chappelle's up there. Right now, I will say shout out to John Mulaney because I really liked his last special after Rehab. But I don't think he's a top 3 for me, but he's up there.
Okay.
Random one, if you can check him out. He's no longer with us. If you know his story, watching his stand-up is even kind of more incredible because of his anxiety. But Mitch Hedberg, if you can find his stuff on YouTube, he's hilarious. And if you're going through anxiety, especially, just watch his stand-up, and you can see someone succeeding with anxiety. He's really fucking funny, though. It's not like a push for anything. He's hilarious.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool to hear.
Yeah. So all in all, TK, stop tweeting, bro. But everyone, let's just take it easy, man. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Phantom X. Everyone just said the same thing. Supposed to be fun. What else said? Supposed to be fun. What booker in the history of wrestling didn't take shots at the competition?
Yeah.
Just focus on your product though a little bit more. Ric Flair in the ring chopping Hobbs.
He might actually die tonight.
Darby is a wild man, and this is a question I actually don't know the answer to. Did he climb Everest yet?
No, this spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that'll be kind of quick.
It's unreal to train for, so kudos for him for still wrestling.
Yeah,
For real. Real quick, I just thought of 2 I want to toss in there. Rodney Dangerfield, and he passed Norm McDonald.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Watch either of them on talk shows, especially Norm on Conan. No script.
Oh, God,
nothing.
yes.
They play with the
So
other
good.
guys. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Another guy I always love too. Since those other people there, I love Jim Carrey, man.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
We got to do an event for our last gig that we worked together, and he's exactly who you want him to be in your life.
That's
you can just tell. You can't really turn that off.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, Martin Lawrence, Bernie, like we mentioned earlier. Those are my guys. We're coming to the end of the show this week. It was a really good show. Glad to have Zach join us and talk about these topics. There's been a lot of good topics these last few weeks. Starting the podcast back up.
Too much Impact for my taste, but yeah.
Impact's getting even bigger. The Rumble will be back. We'll have some more information on that going forward, but definitely keep an eye out for that. I was just keeping that up. I think we're a few more to go here. A little bit of pop culture stuff. Tom Cruise signing on to Warner Brothers. This is a big deal. It's a lot of movies he's going to be a part of. Do you guys think he'll jump into the DCU, try to boost that a bit? And I think, Zach, you were mentioning this might look at that whole Paramount merger might be a thing.
This, in my opinion, this says either 2 things. One, this merger is definitely happening because with the success of Top Gun and with more Mission Impossible movies that they technically want to do, the merger might be happening. Or he doesn't like the leadership at Paramount because Paramount doesn't know what to do. So he's going back to Warner Brothers where he did stuff like Eyes Wide Shut. He did, Interview the Vampire. He's got a few good men, a good library over there. So you might see him do more serious stuff. One of those 2 things, I think, is what's happening with Tom Cruise going to Warner Brothers, and I do not see him in the DCU.
Okay. Eric, what do you think about that?
I think at best, maybe he does like a cheeky little cameo in some random Batman movie or something. But Yeah, I guess at the very least we'll get to see a bunch of movies that show his vision. I didn't know that studios were still signing actors like the early days of Hollywood like that, but cool, good for him. I guess the rich get richer.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It'd be cool seeing him in the DCU, but I just don't see who would play besides like Batman, and that's already kind of taken. I don't really want to see him play Batman anymore.
You're gonna have to hire a very short Robin.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
the thing too. I mean, he was supposed to be Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. I'm glad we went Robert Downey Jr. though.
Well,
Yeah.
there's rumors he could appear in Secret War, so I hope they kind of keep that as just.
Oh man, they might have to cancel those then. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Also, The Mandalorian and Grogu getting a movie. Pretty cool stuff. After the last season ended, it's kind of weird to see that movie happen now. But they're still doing a season 4 Mandalorian and the movie. What do you guys think about that?
They're milking it too much for me.
Yeah, because it seemed to me the last season they were passing the torch, so it's kind of weird to see how this goes out. Maybe this will be his proper send off. I think he's earned it. I think Pedro's earned it. The show's been amazing, but I think maybe after season 1 or 2 we could have did a movie.
Yeah, because I mean, Star Wars is a great universe, so many stories to tell. It just feels like they really did a good job with one particular story, and they're like, all right, guys, everyone's talked shit about a lot of the stories we did, but this one everyone seems to like. So let's just put all our eggs in this basket instead of just like working on everything as a whole.
Yeah.
I still have gone back to Star Wars since Boba Fett, but yeah, good for Pedro. He's going to film it after the next thing Knox probably going to talk about.
Yeah. The next thing, we have the 2 castings for Last of Us Season 2. Last of Us, the video game part 2, probably the most diversive game, like polarizing game I think I've ever seen.
You've seen Baldur's Gate 3.
No, not like this. People love and hate. Like it's such a like hot topic. So 2 characters from that show, Caitlin Dever playing Abby. Fun fact about her, she's part of the Naughty Dog family. She was in Uncharted 4. I just remember Cassie, Zach, that she played her. She's gonna be playing Abby. She got to hit the gym because Abby is a beast. Some people wanted Ronda Rousey to play her because of that, but I think this is a good casting. She looks the part. Just once she puts the weight on, like the muscles, she's gonna be perfect. And then this guy, he was in Beef. One of you guys seen Beef, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on his name. But he's gonna be playing Jesse. I think it's a perfect casting. Obviously, looks the part. I think he'll be good. Jesse was a solid character. Didn't get that much screen time, but I think he'll probably elevate it in a good way.
Okay.
So yeah, Last of Us Season 2 looking strong, man. I'm excited for it.
I don't know, man. I mean, Halo's coming back. I think Last of Us might get overshadowed.
That show sucks, man. Come
on. Random side note here, Pedro, if you saw him this weekend at the Golden Globes and helping William Dafoe get his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, he broke his arm. Apparently, that's not going to affect the filming of The Last of Us. It's not going to affect what the voiceover he does for The Mandalorian. What it could affect is if he is in the running to play Mr. Fantastic, which is supposed to start filming in a time frame where his arm might not be healed up. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's playing Mr. This is a busy dude nowadays, man.
Yeah. I love him. I just don't like when Hollywood latches onto one guy for everything.
Yeah.
They tend to do that, but I mean, he's the guy right now. I think that was it for the pop culture stuff. I'm really excited for Last of Us Season 2. What do we got next to close the show? And okay, I was telling Eric this earlier, Zach. We have to put some respect on Echo's name. The reviews are coming out, and it's not bombing. His reviews are looking really good. All 9 episodes dropped in Disney Plus. I've seen the first few minutes of the first episode. I think we it's on to something here. They got it. It's gritty.
Echo. Yeah. Yeah. I actually forgot that it was out. I've been seeing ads for it, but I thought it was like hyping it up. Okay, so it's out. Daredevil and Kingpin are in this, right? I was gonna say it's a spoiler, but I saw that in the ads. So
they're in there. I didn't know the actress. I didn't know she was actually deaf in real life. I didn't know that. But she's
cool.
good. I think she was good in Hawkeye. So I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see how it is. And with Echo joining the MCU finally with her show, all the Netflix shows are now canon on the MCU timeline.
So I guess with Secret War, it doesn't matter because like, I guess we'll do the multiverse. It doesn't matter.
I guess so. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know if you guys seen Echo. The last topic of the day, I threw this one on there because next week, we'll talk more about on next week's show, the Xbox Developer Direct. I'm still waiting for PlayStation to put one out, but they've been slacking, and I'm nervous because where are the games?
Because we all know Xbox is the king of the games.
They tried to buy everything with the king of the wallet. But what I'm looking out for here is finally we're getting a trailer or gameplay reveal of the Indiana Jones game that I think Bethesda's been working on for it's been at least 5 years. So hopefully we'll get to see something nice and hopefully it looks good. Eric, what are you hoping for? Like, I know you're Team Xbox here. Is there anything you got on your radar?
So the Indiana Jones one, I'm a little worried about because I know games take time, but when it's 5 years, the longer a game takes to develop, the less focus it is, and it could be a little messy. So 5 years might be a little too much time. Let's hope that they kept it going strong. I think my number one concern is Game Pass because I've yet to buy a game on Xbox for the past. Yep. Actually, Madden was the first game I bought when I told you I bought Madden recently, and that's everything else is just Game Pass. So I'm hoping to see that just get a bigger expansion somehow in Game Pass. And they already have so many games.
Yeah. I mean, you got freaking Call of Duty. You bought freaking all those games. Bethesda. You bought Activision, Blizzard. So Game Pass is gonna be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I'm looking for Indiana Jones because my favorite game series of all time is Uncharted, and the way they pitched it at first, this is gonna be they're going back to the roots of when Uncharted was inspired for. They have an Indiana Jones game, so I'd be interested for that. We'll see how it plays out. But I don't even know too much stories they can tell with Indiana Jones anymore.
Just take an idol, put it in a tomb, and you make a Tomb Raider, but with an old guy.
So we still have boobs.
Oh, hell's yes, of course. How you got to make your money somehow.
The only way to escape is on this trampoline.
Oh, God. Craziness. But yeah, that was our West Coast POPcast this week. Zach, I know you're not going to touch Xbox.
What's Xbox?
Exactly. But Eric, any final thoughts?
Game Pass is EBTA. That's funny. That's actually a good one. I think I usually when something is too good to be true, especially as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, where's the rub? Who's losing out in this scenario somehow, some way? I don't think Game Pass. I haven't seen any cons with it yet. If somebody knows a con, like a legit con that is a reason why we shouldn't support it, let me know. Otherwise, I am ready to call it the greatest thing that's happened to gaming.
I think one of the things I'm looking at is even Netflix, which is the biggest thing for streaming, for that type of subscription service thing, they find it hard to turn a profit. So I wonder if they're actually making money, and I wonder if the quality of the games would drop. That's the only thing, but we're still getting quality games. So as long as that keeps up, I think it looks like it's fine.
Well, it seems like I think my theory about Game Pass, and this is why I say enjoy it now while it lasts, is they have all these games on there. And again, it's very cheap. I literally don't even need an Xbox to play Xbox games. I just pay them on my computer now if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're really just trying to drive PlayStation out. And they're like, fuck it, we'll take a loss for 100 years if we have to. We're Microsoft. We have money coming in from so many places. As long as long term we take out PlayStation, then they win.
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's right there too, man. Why is it always to be against PlayStation? Why can't we worry about Nintendo as well?
You and I both know Nintendo ain't even. They are the NWA to this conversation.
Well, the Switch 2 is coming out in 2024.
Hey, you youngster, your parents don't want you to play a real game. How about a Switch? You know that Mario fella?
Man, you're gonna get a lot of heat this week, man. Both of y'all.
This is just kind of funny because I know someone on the Switch who's looking to get Hogwarts. If a game doesn't come out until 6 months after it comes out because you got to dumb it down that much, that's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, that's a mistake. You don't get Switch or Nintendo to play third-party games with like hard. It's gonna look bad. It's probably not. It's gonna look like a slideshow. It's not gonna work. You play like the Nintendo exclusive, like Mario Party, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That's what the Switch is for. You don't want to play like. Imagine GTA on the Switch.
Oh,
It would never boot up.
Try
10
playing
missions
Skyrim on
you're
the
done.
Switch. It's fucking terrible. Also, the fact that Steam, it's not even. I don't know the extent how big a company Valve is, but they came out with a better version of the Switch that does everything the Switch does, even play Switch games if you have the know-how. So I'm disappointed in Nintendo in so many ways.
Yeah, the Steam Deck is pretty dope. I haven't got a chance to like see it in real life, but from what I've seen,
I would buy it if I didn't have a friend who bought me a Switch. And I'm like, if I buy it, I'm never going to use this again. So I guess I'll just first world problems.
West Coast POPCast back another week. We went for an hour 40 this week, man. So hit the like button if you really want to support you guys. Subscribe. We're at 2,400.
I don't know if I'm streaming this week, but I will be soon. Either a game or a Rampage.
Yeah, I might do that GM stream tomorrow. We'll see.
Nice. Good Morning America stream.
Oh, you know it. Talking to the nation in this divisive time.
I'm Michael Threehand. So, what do you want to talk about?
Joined, of course, by Mike Tyson. Thank you for having me, Shannon.
Yeah, we're getting heat this week. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Really appreciate it. West Coast POPCast. Zach, any final thoughts?
Just get ready for the Rumble. We are heading into Rumble season. I'm going to set it up pretty soon. Eric's got a drinking game that's set up for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's right.
Sir.
If you want to hear the rules, go back and check out the beginning of this episode. I ain't saying it again.
I cannot wait, man.
Oh, we didn't. I'm sorry. Before we go, we have to give him his flowers. R-Truth is fucking killing it right now.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Yeah, we were gonna wait for Zach, but we didn't touch R-Truth. What a segment.
Yeah.
That was absolutely hilarious. I saw it on Facebook Messenger or video or something, and I rewatched it so many times. It's just so good. R-Truth is killing it right now.
My favorite part was when you can see up in the corner there when he was saying he did something and he just goes, This is awesome. This is so good. The Photoshop in here is awesome. It's either really good or it's really bad, which makes it really good. And this is you got to come strong in 2024 to top this.
So I have to. So Sami Zayn, the question was, does he become champion after? I don't see R-Truth getting a championship out of this. What's the payoff? How does this end? Does R-Truth actually join the Judgment Day? Does he get a big match? What happens?
Yeah, I think him joining Judgment Day is the payoff. But I think that the joke that where it works is he's not actually there, being like a fake member is kind of what makes it go.
It's got to be something with costing. I think it's going to cost the Money in the Bank Championship cash in. And this is going to turn Judgment Day into Lethal People again, because it's kind of a joke and we're getting kind of like meh with Judgment Day right now. So it's going to turn the Judgment Day, and then that's going to lead into an implosion of the Judgment Day. That's my opinion for the payoff. But I got to say, with this video, we got to be close.
Yeah, we have to be. If he somehow cost him the briefcase, I'd be happy. I'd be happy with it in the moment, but I think if we look back on it, I'd be like, oh man, the guy didn't cash in. It was a big guy. So I don't know. It's going to have to be really good. It's going to be a really good cost.
Yes, sir. We'll see how it goes. Listen in the chats. Keep the comments going throughout the week. How you think the Judgment Day will end? Where's R-Truth in the storyline going? West Coast POPCast will be back every Wednesdays, 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. From your boys, the main man, Zach, the Infinity Champion, Eric, and the final boss, Knock. Thank you for supporting. Hit the like button. See you next week. Peace out, y'all.
Fuck TNA.
TNA is the best. Hard to kill, baby.